What if the noise of the world is not the true enemy of your focus? What if the key to profound concentration is not in silencing the world, but in learning to be silent within it? The ability to find this inner silence is the forgotten superpower of the greatest minds in history. Focus deeply. When life gets noisy. Stoicism, compiled and published by Stoic Power. Lesson 1. Building inner stillness. Imagine a deep, crystal-clear lake, nestled high in a secluded mountain range. On its surface, the wind may create ripples and a passing storm may cause temporary turmoil. But in its profound, silent depths, the water remains perfectly still, clear, and undisturbed. This is the nature of inner stillness. A deep, internal state of peace that is not dependent on the weather of the external world. This is the foundation of all deep focus. For many of us, however, our inner world is not this deep lake, but a shallow, muddy pond, stirred into chaos by the slightest breeze. We are in a state of constant inner conflict, where the noise of modern life, the endless notifications, the 24/7 news cycle, the demands of work and family, directly translates into a noisy and agitated mind. We feel scattered, anxious, and completely at the mercy of our chaotic environment. This is a common and painful challenge that many people face in the context of emotional mastery and self-discipline. The problem with this lack of inner stillness is that it makes deep focus impossible. You cannot concentrate on a single important task when your mind is a raging storm of 1,000 different thoughts, worries, and distractions. This constant inner noise is mentally and emotionally exhausting, draining the very energy you need to do your best work. It leaves you feeling perpetually busy, but fundamentally unproductive, a victim of the very noise you wish to escape. The transformative solution is the first Stoic principle: to stop trying to silence the world and instead dedicate yourself to the practice of building profound inner stillness. It is the art of becoming the deep lake, whose calm is a product of its own depth, not a gift from the weather. The core idea is rooted in the Stoic concept of the inner citadel. The ancient philosophers knew that the external world is, and always will be, a chaotic and unpredictable place. True peace and focus, therefore, cannot be dependent on external conditions. They must be cultivated within a mental fortress that is impervious to the chaos outside its walls. This inner stillness is not a passive state of emptiness. It is an active state of profound stability and readiness, a quiet center from which all powerful, focused action originates. This ancient wisdom feels alive today because it gives us back our power, reminding us that the source of our calm is within our own control. To begin the sacred work of building this inner stillness, you must become the architect of your own peace. The first actionable step is to schedule a daily stillness session. For just 5 minutes each day, sit in a quiet place without any devices. Your goal is not to stop thinking, but to simply sit in the stillness and allow your turbulent thoughts to gradually settle, like silt in a glass of water. The second step is to practice mindful transitions. As you move from one task to another, or from one place to another, take just 10 seconds to pause, take one deep breath, and reconnect with your inner stillness before proceeding. The third step is to deliberately seek out silence. Go for a walk in nature without headphones. Spend an evening reading a book instead of watching television. Intentionally reduce the amount of noise you allow into your life, giving your inner stillness a chance to grow. The benefits of applying these actions are a profound and life-altering transformation in your ability to focus. As your baseline state becomes one of calm rather than agitation, you will find that the noise of the world loses its power to distract you. Your mind will become sharper, clearer, and more creative. Your anxiety levels will decrease, and you will feel a deep, abiding sense of control over your own inner state. You become the calm, clear lake, capable of reflecting the world with perfect clarity. Your call to action is to take your first step into the practice of stillness today. Find 5 minutes in your schedule, set a timer, and simply sit. Do not try to achieve anything. Just be still. This is the first stone you will lay for your inner citadel. This inner stillness is the foundation, the silent ground upon which focus is built. But even on still ground, our own minds can create a storm. The next lesson will teach you how to control the distractions that arise from within. If you are ready to build your inner stillness, please like this video and subscribe to the Stoic Power channel for more foundational wisdom. Lesson 2. Controlling mental distractions. Imagine an untamed wild horse enclosed within a round pen. It is a magnificent creature, full of power and potential, but its energy is scattered and chaotic. It bucks, it rears, and it runs in frantic circles, spooked by every sound and shadow. It is a prisoner of its own untamed mind. This is the nature of our mind when it is beset by internal mental distractions. This is the second challenge on the path to deep focus. Most of us are in a state of constant inner conflict where we sit down to focus on an important task, but our mind, like that wild horse, refuses to be still. It gallops off into worries about the future. It gets bogged down in ruminations about the past, and it is constantly distracted by a never-ending stream of random, irrelevant thoughts. We are not in control of our own attention. This is a critical and deeply frustrating problem. The greatest obstacle to deep focus is often not the noise of the world, but the noise of our own minds. This internal static makes it impossible to concentrate, drains our willpower, and leaves us feeling frustrated and powerless. We become angry at our own minds for their inability to be still, which only creates more mental chaos. We are the rider, but we have no control over our own powerful, magnificent horse. The transformative solution is the Stoic habit of becoming a gentle but firm trainer of your own mind. It is the practice of learning to calm the wild horse of your attention and to gently guide it, rather than trying to break it through force. The core idea is rooted in the Stoic practice of provokation, or mindful attention, applied not to the external world, but to the internal one. The Stoics understood that thoughts are like the shadows that spook the horse. They are fleeting, insubstantial, and not to be mistaken for reality. The untrained mind reacts to every single thought as if it were an urgent and important truth. The trained mind learns to observe these thoughts as they arise, without judgment and without being carried away by them. This ancient wisdom is profoundly empowering, as it teaches us that we are not our thoughts. We are the calm, conscious observer of our thoughts. To begin training your mind, you must become its patient teacher. The first actionable step is the practice of mental noting. As you try to focus and a distracting thought arises, simply and gently label it in your mind: worrying, planning, remembering. Then, gently guide your attention back to your intended focus. Do not get angry at the distraction, just note it and return. The second step is to have a distraction pad. Keep a piece of paper next to you as you work. When an important but unrelated thought pops up, quickly write it down on the pad to be dealt with later. This honors the thought without letting it hijack your focus. The third step is to practice single tasking. For a set period, commit to doing only one thing. The modern myth of multitasking is the enemy of a trained mind. The benefits of applying these actions are a massive increase in your ability to enter and sustain a state of deep focus. The wild horse of your mind will begin to calm down, trusting in your gentle guidance. You will be able to work for longer periods with greater clarity and less mental friction. You will feel a profound sense of mastery over your own consciousness, which is the very essence of personal power. Your call to action is to become the trainer for the next 20 minutes. Set a timer and commit to a single task. Each time your mind wanders, gently and without frustration, practice the noting and returning technique. Count how many times you have to return. This is your first training session. Controlling the random chatter of the mind is a crucial skill. But what about the more powerful, more volatile distractions? What about the storms of emotion that can completely unseat us from our horse? The next lesson teaches the art of strengthening your emotional discipline. Please comment below with one mental distraction you are committed to taming, and remember to subscribe to the Stoic Power channel. Lesson 3. Strengthening emotional discipline. Imagine a disciplined fire burning steadily in a well-built stone hearth. It is a source of immense power. It provides consistent warmth on a cold night and a focused light in the darkness. It can be used to cook food and forge tools. Its power is in its containment, in its discipline. An undisciplined fire, a wildfire, is also powerful, but its power is chaotic, destructive, and useless. This is the difference between a mind with emotional discipline and one without. Most of us are in a state of inner conflict where our emotions are like a volatile wildfire. A spark of bad news, a gust of criticism, or a bit of frustrating friction can cause our inner world to erupt in a blaze of anger, anxiety, or despair. These emotional fires rage out of control, consuming our focus and leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. This lack of emotional discipline is a critical problem for anyone seeking to focus deeply. An emotional wildfire is the ultimate distraction. When you are in the grip of a strong, negative emotion, your rational mind is completely shut down. The capacity for deep focus, creative problem solving, and clear thinking evaporates in the heat of the moment. You are not just distracted from your work, you become a danger to it, likely to make rash decisions and burn the very bridges you are trying to build. The transformative solution is to become the master of your own inner hearth. It is the Stoic habit of building the strong stone walls of emotional discipline so that you can use the power of your emotions as a focused, purposeful fire rather than being consumed by them as a destructive wildfire. The core idea is the Stoic concept of apatheia. This does not mean apathy or the elimination of emotions. The Stoics were not emotionless. Apatheia means freedom from the tyranny of irrational and destructive passions. It is the state of a mind where reason is the master and the emotions are its powerful but obedient servants. The emotionally disciplined person feels the heat of anger, but they are not burned by it. They use that energy as fuel for determined action, rather than letting it explode into a destructive rage. To build this inner hearth, you must become its disciplined keeper. The first actionable step is to practice emotional forecasting. Before entering a situation that you know might be emotionally challenging, take a moment to anticipate the emotions that might arise. This preparation prevents you from being ambushed by them. The second step is to perform a logical intervention. When you feel a strong emotion, ask yourself two simple questions. Is this emotion in proportion to the event that caused it? And is acting on this emotion helpful to my long-term purpose? This subjects the emotion to the authority of your reason. The third step is to have a cool-down ritual. This is a pre-planned action you will take when you feel a wildfire starting. It could be splashing cold water on your face, listening to a specific piece of calming music, or stepping outside for fresh air. The benefits of applying these actions are the development of a profound and unshakable inner strength. You will find that you can handle immense pressure and provocation with a calm and steady heart. Your decisions will be infinitely wiser because they will be forged in the light of reason, not in the heat of passion. You will become a source of stability and strength for those around you, a calm fire in a cold and chaotic world. Your power to focus will become immense because your energy will be contained and directed toward your goals. Your call to action is to choose your cool-down ritual. What is one simple, pre-planned action you will take the next time you feel an emotional wildfire begin to spread? Decide on it now so that you are prepared before the fire starts. You have now learned to build stillness, control your thoughts, and discipline your emotions. You are fortifying your inner world. But the outer world will still be noisy. The next lesson will teach you the art of filtering that external noise. If you found this lesson valuable, please like the video and share it with someone who could benefit from its message. Lesson 4. Filtering external noise. Imagine you are the gatekeeper of a great, ancient, and prosperous city. Your primary duty is to stand at the main gate and carefully inspect everyone and everything that seeks entry. You do not let in marauding armies, panicked mobs, or merchants selling worthless trinkets, as they would bring chaos and drain the city's resources. You are a filter, allowing in only the travelers, the goods, and the information that are essential to the city's well-being and purpose. Your mind is this city, and you are its gatekeeper. Many of us, however, have abandoned our post. We are in a state of inner conflict. where we have thrown the gates of our mind wide open. We allow every notification, every piece of breaking news, every bit of office gossip, and every social media controversy to rush into our city unchecked. We believe that to be informed and connected, we must be completely open to the fire hose of external information. The problem with this open gate policy is that it makes deep focus an impossibility. The modern world is a relentless siege of noise, and most of it is trivial, negative, or irrelevant to our core purpose. By allowing this noise to flood our mental city, we create a state of constant distraction and low-grade anxiety. Our attention is fragmented into 1,000 tiny pieces, and our precious mental energy is consumed by processing information that has no bearing on our well-being or our goals. The transformative solution is to reclaim your post as the vigilant gatekeeper of your own mind. It is the Stoic habit of deliberately and ruthlessly filtering the external noise, of understanding that what you don't pay attention to is just as important as what you do. The core idea is a direct application of the Stoic dichotomy of control. The information of the world is external and largely outside of our control. However, our attention, the gateway to our mind, is entirely within our control. The warrior of the mind exercises this control with extreme prejudice. He understands that his attention is his most valuable asset, and he refuses to squander it on the trivialities that the world constantly throws at him. This is not ignorance. It is strategic intelligence. It is the art of protecting your focus by choosing your battles. To become this vigilant gatekeeper, you must create a system of filters. The first actionable step is to conduct a noise audit. For 1 week, pay close attention to the information you consume. At the end of the week, ask yourself, how much of this information was actually useful or essential to my life and goals? And how much was just noise? The second step is to go on a low-information diet. Unsubscribe from junk email lists. Unfollow negative or distracting accounts on social media. Turn off all non-essential notifications on your phone. Deliberately shrink the number of gates that noise can enter through. The third step is to schedule your intake. Instead of snacking on information all day, set aside 2 specific, short blocks of time per day to check news and social media. Contain the noise to a designated time and place. The benefits of applying these actions are a massive and immediate reclamation of your time, energy, and focus. You will be astonished at how much mental bandwidth is freed up when you are not constantly processing irrelevant noise. Your anxiety will decrease, and your ability to engage in long periods of deep, uninterrupted work will skyrocket. You will feel a profound sense of control and peace, the feeling of a city whose gates are secure and whose streets are orderly. Your call to action is to choose your first filter. What is the one source of external noise, a specific app, a website, a notification that you will completely eliminate for the next 3 days? Commit to it. Close one gate and feel the immediate increase in your inner peace. Filtering the noise from the outside world is a powerful defensive strategy. But to truly focus deeply, you need more than just defense. You need a powerful offensive strategy, a guiding light that pulls your attention forward. The next lesson will teach you how to anchor your focus in your own unshakable core values. Please comment with the noise you plan to filter out, and remember to subscribe to the Stoic Power channel. Lesson 5. Anchoring in core values. Imagine a master navigator on the vast, featureless ocean at night. A storm has blown his ship off course, the seas are choppy, and the sky is filled with 1,000 confusing stars. His only hope for finding his true direction is to locate the one star that does not move, the North Star. By anchoring his navigation to this one constant, unmoving point of light, he can confidently chart his course through the chaos and uncertainty, knowing he is always moving in the right direction. Your core values are this North Star for your focus. We are often in a state of inner conflict, where we are adrift on the ocean of life without a fixed point of reference. We chase after fleeting goals, more money, more status, more pleasure, and we allow our focus to be dictated by the shifting currents of social pressure and our own changing moods. We are busy, but we are not moving in a consistent direction. The problem with this lack of a moral anchor is that it makes our focus fragile and meaningless. If you don't know what your ultimate destination is, you cannot make wise decisions about which direction to sail. You become susceptible to every promising new island and every threatening storm. A focus that is not anchored in deep personal values is merely a short-term concentration, not a long-term life-guiding force. It leads to a life of scattered efforts and ultimately a sense of emptiness, because the things you achieved were not aligned with what truly matters to you. The transformative solution is the Stoic habit of defining and constantly anchoring your focus in your own core values. It is the practice of becoming the master navigator of your own life, who always keeps his eye on his own North Star. The core idea is that for the Stoics, the ultimate purpose, or telos, of life was to live a life of virtue. The four cardinal virtues, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, were their North Star. They believed that every action, every decision, and every focus should be guided by the question, is this virtuous? This provides an unbreakable anchor for your attention. When you know what you stand for, you know where to focus. A life anchored in values is a life of purpose, and a life of purpose is a life of deep, unshakable focus. To discover and use your own North Star, you must engage in deep self-reflection. The first actionable step is to define your virtues. Take out a journal and answer the question, what are the 3 to 5 character traits that are most important to me? Honesty, growth, compassion. These are your core values. The second step is to align your goals with these values. Look at what you are currently working on. Does it serve your core values? If not, why are you doing it? You must learn to say no to goals that are not aligned with your North Star. The third step is to use your values as a daily filter. At the start of each day, briefly review your values. Then, throughout the day, use them to make decisions about where to place your focus. The benefits of this practice are the creation of a profound sense of purpose and direction in your life. You will stop being distracted by shiny, meaningless objects, because you will have a powerful filter for what truly matters. Your motivation will become deep and intrinsic, because your actions will be an expression of your deepest self. You will build a life not just of success, but of meaning and integrity. You become the master navigator, capable of charting a true course through any of life's storms. Your call to action is to perform the first step today. Take 10 minutes and write down your 3 to 5 core values. Do not overthink it. What is most important to you as a person? This list is the first chart of your own soul. Anchoring in your core values provides the direction for your focus. But what happens when the storms of life hit with full force? How do you maintain that focus when the pressure is immense? The next lesson will teach you how to sustain your focus when it matters most. If you found this lesson valuable, please like this video and share one of your core values in the comments below. Lesson 6. Sustaining focus under pressure. Imagine a master archer standing at the final line of a great competition. The crowd is roaring, the wind is swirling, and the entire outcome rests on this one single shot. This is a moment of immense, crushing pressure. Yet, the archer does not see the crowd or feel the wind. Her entire universe has narrowed to just 4 points. Her hands on the bow, the string against her cheek, the arrow on its rest, and the small, distant target. In the midst of extreme pressure, her focus becomes sharper, clearer, and more powerful than ever before. This is the art of sustaining focus under pressure. For most of us, pressure has the opposite effect. We are in an inner conflict where the moment the stakes get high, our focus shatters. Our mind is flooded with 1,000 what-ifs. What if I fail? What if they laugh? What if I'm not good enough? Our carefully cultivated concentration evaporates, and our performance plummets when it matters most. The problem is that we see pressure as the enemy of focus. We believe that to focus well, we need a calm, quiet, and low-stakes environment. But life's most important moments are rarely calm. By allowing pressure to break our concentration, we ensure that we will underperform in the very situations that have the greatest impact on our lives. The important presentation, the difficult conversation, the championship game. The transformative solution is to adopt the mindset of the master archer. It is the Stoic habit of using pressure not as a force that shatters your focus, but as a lens that magnifies it. It is the practice of welcoming pressure as your ultimate training partner. The core idea is embodied in the Stoic principle that the obstacle is the way. The pressure itself, the very thing that seems to be obstructing your focus, can be transformed into the tool that sharpens it. The warrior knows that the roar of the crowd and the swirling of the wind are external indifference. The only thing that truly matters is the process of the shot, which is entirely within their control. By radically accepting the pressure and then narrowing their attention to the present, controllable action, they enter a state of supreme concentration. To cultivate this elite level of focus, you must practice controlling your attention in moments of stress. The first actionable step is to have a process-oriented mantra. In a pressure situation, instead of thinking about the outcome, repeat a simple mantra related to the immediate process, such as smooth and steady, or just this one step. This keeps your mind anchored in the controllable present. The second step is to practice voluntary pressure. Intentionally put yourself in low-stakes situations that induce a small amount of social or performance pressure. Join a public speaking club. Compete in a local tournament. This is like practicing with a smaller, but still noisy crowd. The third step is to focus on your breathing. When you feel the physiological symptoms of pressure, increased heart rate, shallow breathing, consciously switch to slow, deep breaths. This is your biological override switch for the panic response. The benefits of this practice are the development of a truly clutch ability to perform when it matters most. You will stop fearing high-stakes situations and begin to see them as exciting opportunities to test your skills. Your confidence will soar, as you will have proven to yourself that you can maintain your focus and composure in the heat of battle. You become the master archer, a person of grace and precision under pressure. Your call to action is to choose your training ground. What is one small, low-stakes pressure situation you can voluntarily enter this month? A small presentation at work, a difficult but necessary conversation? Commit to it and use it as a laboratory to practice your new skills. You now have the tools to build stillness, control your mind, filter the noise, anchor in your values, and sustain your focus under pressure. The final lesson is about integrating all of these into a single, seamless state of being, the mastery of calm in the very heart of chaos. Please subscribe to the Stoic Power channel as we reach the culmination of our journey into deep focus. Lesson 7. Mastering calm in chaos. Imagine the eye of a hurricane. It is the calmest and most peaceful part of the most violent storm on Earth. Its calm is not a result of the storm's absence. The storm is raging all around it. The calm is the very center, the axis, the source of the storm's incredible organized power. To master calm in chaos is not to escape the chaos, but to become its calm, powerful center. This is the final and highest expression of a focused mind. Throughout this journey, we have learned the tools to fight against the noise and the pressure. But we are still in an inner conflict, where we see chaos as something out there and calm as something in here. We still see them as two opposing forces, and our lives as the battlefield between them. The ultimate problem with this view is that it is still a state of struggle. As long as you are fighting chaos, you are still giving it your energy. As long as you are resisting the noise, you are still in a relationship with it. This constant battle, even if you are winning, is exhausting and prevents the achievement of a truly effortless and integrated state of focus and peace. The transformative solution is the final leap in Stoic understanding, to stop seeing calm and chaos as opposites and to see them as two parts of a unified whole. It is the practice of mastering a state of being where you can be fully engaged in the chaos of life while simultaneously resting in a profound state of inner calm. It is the art of becoming the eye of the storm. The core idea is the culmination of all Stoic wisdom, the achievement of eudaimonia, or a truly flourishing life. A flourishing life is not a life free from chaos. It is a life where a person can act with virtue, reason, and tranquility within any and all circumstances. The master of this art no longer needs tricks to find calm. because calm has become their very nature. They are not the person trying to get to the eye of the storm. They are the eye of the storm. This is not a distant mystical state, but the result of the diligent, daily practice of all the principles we have discussed. To achieve this state of mastery, you must shift from practicing the lessons to being the lessons. The first actionable step is to embrace the chaos. Stop complaining about how noisy and distracting the world is. Accept it as the necessary and perfect training ground for your practice. The second step is to find the stillness within the motion. Practice finding your calm anchor, not just when you are sitting still, but when you are walking, working, and even in the middle of a conversation. Let your stillness be a portable sanctuary. The third step is to make your values your automatic pilot. Through consistent practice, your core values should become so ingrained that your responses to chaos are automatically aligned with your highest self, requiring less and less conscious effort. The benefits of achieving this level of mastery are the attainment of a truly unshakable and joyful life. You will be able to engage with the world with an open heart and a focused mind, without the fear of being overwhelmed. You will become a source of immense calm and strength for everyone around you, a stable anchor in their own chaotic lives. You will experience a profound sense of peace and power that comes from being in perfect harmony with the reality of the world as it is. Your final call to action is a commitment to integration. For the next month, see your entire life as a practice field. Every moment of noise is a chance to practice stillness. Every distraction is a chance to practice focus. Every pressure is a chance to practice calm. Stop seeing your life and your practice as separate things. Let your life become your practice. By building inner stillness, controlling your mind, disciplining your emotions, filtering the noise, anchoring in your values, and sustaining focus under pressure, you finally arrive at this place of mastery. The place where you can focus deeply, always, because you have become the calm in the chaos. A focused mind is not built by silencing the world, but by cultivating stillness within. Through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, we learn to master our inner world, filter the outer noise, and anchor ourselves in purpose, becoming the unshakable calm at the center of life's inevitable chaos. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. We gently remind viewers to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more wisdom on building an indestructible life.